a pawn shop. Uncle, 多少钱啊？3块。Okay. Okay, so we are at this hawker center, block 726 Clementi, and we are heading to a unit that I will soon be marketing. Let's have a look at how long it takes to walk from this marketplace to that particular house. Let's go. Okay, start already. Let's go. So this entire area, you have lots of things: clinics, hawker center, coffee shop, supermarket, furniture shops, hair salon, food reflexology, massage parlors, pawn shop, pawn, P-A-U-N, not P-O-R-N. And then value shop. This house that we are going to be viewing, the address is Mas Kuning Terrace. So we are taking the distance to walk from here to there. But on the other direction is actually the Ayer Rajah Market, and also on yet another direction, you can actually walk past the AYE, go past the overhead bridge, and you are at the Clementi Central already. Weather is very hot. Yesterday I met another client. The client was saying that actually now we should be in the monsoon season already. It should be raining, but every day is so hot. So weather has changed. It's taken us slightly past 3 minutes to get until this point. I realized this traffic light you need to press on. You never press, the pedestrian doesn't turn for you. So including the wait for the traffic light, we are now at Mas Kuning Terrace and it's around 6 minutes, 40 over seconds, close to 7 minutes. As you can see, as we walk into the house, the entire car park is very spacious, very long. Actually, the building is not fully maximized yet based on the setback. So if you want to have a bigger built-in space, you can still do some extension. So the current owner loves having a pond here. So on a normal rest day, he could be here resting, looking at his fish, enjoying the sound of the water fountain. I think it's quite cool. So if you do not want a pond, you can lever up. Probably if you have got 3 or 4 cars, I think there's no problem parking all the cars in here. But of course, you then cannot maximize the built-in area. So right at the entrance, we have this wooden decking that allows you to feel like you're stepping into the country kind of a theme, and you will find out more as we enter the house. So as you step in here, you realize that the entire feel of it that the owner likes is to give that nature kind of vibe. That's why you see we even have bamboo dividers over here. The tables and chairs are purposely sourced to give that kind of country woody look. And originally, there was actually a wall over here. The room on the first floor is actually supposed to be here. And then on this part is actually the kitchen. But the owner actually removed it. They actually swapped the entire layout around so that there is cross ventilation. And also the light can actually enter from the front and also the back of the house. And as you step into the kitchen, this is the cooking area, the wet kitchen. You even have an island over here. So for those of you who loves cooking and having an island, this is a very lovely place. And then over here is actually the bathroom. So as you can see, this room links directly to the common bathroom. It is a good sized room that you can actually easily fit a queen bed. This is a Murphy bed and it is actually the size of a queen bed. So with the queen bed, you can still have your wardrobe. You can also have some tables and chairs here if you like to. And again, this room links directly to the living area. And over here, this is like a little bit of a cozy corner. You can do some reading, you can store some things. And of course, if you want, you can actually have some built-in cabinetries to have a bit of storage area. But if you do not want it, then this looks just nice as a very open area. And then this house is big enough to cater to a backyard area. So this slipper doesn't really fit me with my socks. Over here you have a little shed.
It looks something like a shed.
Like you often see this in the Western movies, you know, like people will have this in the Ang Moh homes, but in Singapore, you rarely see them. And then over here, you can do some plantings, and I don't know what they are, but then for me, I would grow some edible plants maybe. Over here, you can have a bit of a wash area, washing dryer, you can leave them here. And actually, you can't tell from the video, but it's actually very breezy because of the cross ventilation. So because of the cross ventilation, it's actually very nice. You see the leaves moving or not? And then over here, let's head up to the second floor. Come. So you have a landing area. You can put your photos. And then we are at the master room. Okay, so we are here at the master room. This should be a king bed, and if the room is not as big as this one, most of the people, they would actually utilize this space as the wardrobe area. But because the room is that big, they use the entire area here as your wardrobe. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step, 5 step, 6, 7, 8 steps. That's the length of this wardrobe space. And then the owner actually ripped up everything. Originally there was a bathtub here, they put it as a shower screen now. And over here, this is actually the top of the car pouch area. You can still do some extension, get approval, possibly, you know, to create some kind of a walkout balcony. And then over here, the long walkway allows you to put up your photos. So originally this wasn't a wall, it was actually a family area. So you can carve this space out for another room, that's if you need it. But they sealed it up so that they can use this as a wardrobe area. Common bath over here. And then we are into another common bedroom where this is actually the built-in, and you are able to put in a single bed. You have your work desk over there. So this sunken in area potentially can also be the space for the wardrobe if you want the wardrobe to be here. And here on the other side, we have another room. It's actually a mirror image. So with this, we are onto the last level, the third level. Let's go. So we are at the third level. Storeroom is right here. If you notice, we have a little panel of the window over here that actually brings in light to the entire stairwell area. Let's have a look at the entire third level. So you see, for some of the landed homes that we market, right, if the owners don't have a proper plan or proper approval, then we are unable to actually ascertain the actual building area unless we actually send a professional guy to actually do the measurement. This entire space can potentially be the master room because it's really large, you know. So you can actually do a partition over here, or you can do some kind of glass panel, and this can be really like the study area. This can be the living area for the homeowner, you know, for their a little bit of a private space. And then this is the place that you can put in your bed, your wardrobe, because over here you actually have an attached bathroom. Yeah, so this essentially will make a very good master bedroom actually. So the direction over here, we are actually facing southeast direction. So there's no afternoon sun, and you actually get to see this greenery view, which is actually quite cool. Lastly, right, if you look at the plans, the cross-section plan, actually even on top of this ceiling, there's still actually a gap before you reach the roof. So that is actually the part that if the next homeowner wants, you can potentially also build a mezzanine area, or you can actually use that as a storage area. I did one video where, you know, one of my friends actually made use of this kind of void space to actually install the retractable ladder. Yeah, so that can be done if you want to use that space efficiently. So now, let's talk a little bit on the price point, and I'll show you. Now, let's have a look at how the listings stack up against the other competing listings. So we will go on to Property Guru, it's the most popular portal. Okay, let's go into the filter. So we will go into landed property, we select all, and then we will take away townhouse, cluster house. But I'm not surprised that we will still see some of the listings that belong to this cluster, because you know, sometimes when we are keying in the listings, there might have been some errors. And then price, I'm gonna leave it there at maximum 3.7 million. And bedroom, we will click 4 room, 5 room, like my unit effectively is a 5-bedder. You could also potentially create more. I will click land size and I will put a minimum 1008, and then for the floor size I will just let it remain. So the reason why I put it at 1008 even though my unit is a little bit over 2002 is that I do not want to be overly biased with the listing that I am selling, because even though the land could potentially be smaller, but then the build up could also be bigger. But every time when we go for bank's valuation, what it matters more, the weightage of the land size far outbeat that of the build-up area. The TOP of this development is 2001. We will leave it at year 2000. Okay, I think we are good. And then let's apply for the filter. So we have my listing is here and another competing listing on the same street. So I'm not sure whether I covered this already, but then I was saying that, you know, we should actually search between District 5, District 21 because they are actually quite close to each other. For District 22, of course, it's subjective to the buyer whether you want to go up till there, but usually I think that we stop at the West Coast area. You could see that for the landed property, under the price of 3.7, we only have 2 property and it happens to be on the same street. Now let's head over to condominium. So we will let the district stay. Okay, now let's select condominium. So we select all, and then price we leave it at 3.7. Bedroom 4 to 5 bedroom. Floor size we put it at minimum 2000 square feet. Built year 2000. Okay, let's have a look at what we have. So we do have one property at New West. This is actually a cluster house. New West is actually a development with some condominium units as well. I don't think that it is actually an apple-to-apple comparison, but anyway, if the buyer do not mind, this is another option for them. So the other one that I want to do is that under the tenure side, I want to put freehold 999 and 9999. But in doing this, I want to be fair. I will remove built year because if the title is a freehold title, then I want to give more bandwidth, you know, because most likely a freehold property belongs to an older piece of land, which means to say that the property could potentially be older. So let's leave the built year aside, okay? So we don't have anything at the moment that is within the filter. You could see that for somebody who actually wants the space, you want a minimum 4 to 5 room under the price of 3.7, there is actually not so much availability out there. I also want to take some time to talk about the area. So this is Mas Kuning Terrace. Earlier on, we have actually walked to this block 726 food center, and actually opposite the food center is actually the West Coast Plaza, which is actually on the same side of Mas Kuning. So you just walk down the road. If you do not want, take a bus, probably another 1 bus stop, and then you are there already. Clementi Stadium is also right at your doorstep. You can just go there for a jog, and within these shop houses, you have shops as well, eateries as well. Further down at New West is actually a mixed development. You have shops below this development. And also not forgetting, West Coast is a very popular area for expatriates because if you look at the map here, you see the Japanese school are actually all around the area. Not far away, you will see NUS High, and then Nanhua is there, and then Singapore Polytechnic. And if you go down to the Dover area, then you have a lot of schools. ACS is there, SITD, you know, is there. You have INSEAD, and if you look at the map, everywhere you step on, you have either schools and hospitals. It's a lot of catchment for a lot of expatriates and their kids if you want to get the property for rental. And not too far away is actually the West Coast Park. You can do your jogging. If you have kids, you can go over there for a time of chill and relax. You have the McDonald's there, and also you still have another park right over here which is called the Clementi Woods Park. So we have come to the end of the home tour, and my producer was reminding me that I need to do an outro because I always forget about this. So let's do an outro. So we have come to the end of the video shoot. The owner is back already. You see his beautiful car. So we have come to the end of the video shoot. If you like what you have just seen and you want to view the house, give me a call. Lawrence 9181 2454. Bye bye.